if you were here with us in the fall, you might remember him. So we're so excited to have him as a part of our team. And there's lots of people and lots of things to be grateful for. And so I'd like to take a moment to do that, but I want to make sure if you guys are going to
You go ahead.
Yeah. Thank y'all for being here. This is our second performance of the day. We're very excited. So you're in for a treat. We have returning theatriQ members. We have some new theatriQ members. We are so blessed to be able to do this work. It's such a critical time for our community, the LGBTQ community. And, you know, we are living in what is considered perilous times. That's true. But we're also living in really bountiful, abundant, courageous, you know, beautiful times in the same way, because every time I'm surprised. I was surprised by today. I'm surprised by what we're able to create with each other and all the lessons that we continue to learn by taking the risk to work together with groups of people who haven't known each other before, but saying, you know, we have a common community. Let's get to know one another. Let's learn from one another. And let's create something beautiful. And that's what we have done. And so we're really happy to be here at the Kelly Strayhorn Theater. This has been our home for a number of years. So thank you to the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, Galway Studios. Shout out to Melanie and JR for helping us to have this space. Thank you to everyone, as I said in the audience. Thank you to our ensemble, Melanie, Acid, Lee, Braden, Sebastian. Thank you to our crew and our ACE interpreters. We have Matt, Caitlin, we have Charity, Derek, our teaching artist team, Montez Freeland, Kelsey Robinson, Jacob Harris. I want to thank Kai Kohler, who is our program assistant, who's been doing incredible work. Shout out to Ada Gay Griffin, who's our development director, and Ashanti Duncan, our operations manager, and to our board and all of our supporters. I do have to say thank you, y'all, because without all of these people, 20 years of collective work would not have happened. So thank you for letting me have the time to express that gratitude, because that's where we always start, right? With gratitude for where we are, for the folks who have poured into us, so we can move forward and go on. And I'm just really excited because the work is necessary, and it is nourishing, it is challenging, but I keep learning from it. And I'm really glad to have you as a part of our team and be in community with you, and it feels like a gift to have Montez continue to pour into Dreams of Hope, and I want you to share a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. We were talking, we could sit here and talk all day, but we were talking earlier about process and product. You know, and in our industry, it's always about the product. But I don't believe in that. I believe in process. The process is where you learn. The process is where you grow. And so we focused on that since February. We've been meeting once a week, having 2-hour sessions of writing sessions for this devised piece. So all the pieces, 95% of the pieces in the show that you will see were written by people part of this ensemble. And I want you to think about that as you're listening to the pieces. These are the voices of the youth. These are the voices of the generations behind most of us. And they have a lot to say. And it's important for us to stop and to listen and then to grow and to move, or we're going to be left behind because they're going to keep moving. And so today you're going to see the wonderful presentation that they've worked hard on to write. We have original music in this piece, and we spent this week in the space staging it and putting it on its feet, but it's very much developmental. So someone may pull out a piece of paper, someone may call for a line. That's all good, because it's about the work. It's about the process. So I hope that you won't sit back and relax. I hope that you'll lean in and live with the piece. And I'll take care of all the business. Turn your cell phones off. If it's an emergency, please use that door. If you have to use the bathroom, use that door. And just enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the piece. Afterwards, we're going to have a small talk back. We get to ask questions about the process, questions about the pieces that you see, and then we'll say goodnight. And also, thank you, James. Also, remember our envelopes for that moment. If you don't want to throw them, you can come down and place it on the stage if you want to. It's all good. Pass it to the person in front of you. It's all good. So, y'all ready? All right. Come on, let's
baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah.
Finally, I have you all here to look at my ceiling. What? Notice that there's spaghetti hanging from the ceiling, a little bit of marinara sauce, some parsley, some garlic. All in a while, and I feel like the only way that I'm gonna get you guys to spill is if a spaghetti noodle falls on your head. So, if a spaghetti noodle falls on your head, you are going to have to tell me a voice that you miss. What? All right, you guys are looking a little stiff. All right. I need to turn on some music.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah. Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, yeah.
Now, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I'm like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I'm like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
And this is the sign
tickets. Yes, show them how it's done. Show them how they do it. This is Britta sponsored. Yes, let's go.
Don't touch me!
Yes.
Yes! Finally! Well, you know what you have to do. You have to tell us a voice that you miss. Come on.
What is this, therapy? Why is it stinking like this?
Come on. I haven't seen you in months. It's time for you to open up.
I really don't think that you really called me out here to do something like that.
Well, instead of getting mad at each other, why don't we all write down whose voice we're missing, and we can all put it in the middle so that it's fair for everyone. And it can be anonymous, and no one has to know who wrote what.
Fine. But that's not how you play the game. Okay. Y'all have a snack.
This is stupid. I don't really think that this. No.
Why are you so serious all the time?
No!
You are a blessing.
You are too sensitive.
Your personality is really glittery.
I freaking love you. You taught me things just by being yourself.
Go live your glamorous life.
You should play the cow in Into the Woods.
Your personality, really glittery.
OMG, you ate. No crumbs left behind.
I could never see you being in love.
Your personality, really glittery.
I'm going to dead name you since we aren't friends anymore.
You look in between genders. That's why you're single.
You taught me things just by being yourself.
You're so difficult.
If you don't stop hurting yourself, then I'm gonna hurt myself.
If you don't stop hurting yourself, then I'm gonna hurt myself.
If you don't stop hurting yourself, then I'm gonna hurt myself.
If you don't stop hurting yourself, then I'm gonna hurt myself.
Hey! Not today, Satan. When I went into the first grade, I wasn't speaking. I was sitting in a class with everyone else until I was taken out and placed in a separate room. And I'm feeling really sad. I wanted to stay with everyone else, but no, it didn't happen. I knew I had to use my voice to to get what I want.
When I first started as a yoga teacher in yoga teacher training, I was always told that I have such a calming voice. Well, I never actually connected with that since in my childhood I've always been told that I have way too much energy and talk way too fast. But I've calmed down a lot since then, but I'm still silly AF.
I'm pretty quiet. I don't really yell. But this one time, I was driving behind an erratic car, and the woman got out of her car, and the guy behind her tried to hit her. So I got out and yelled, "Don't you put your hands on her!" And I got up in his face and was like, "If you put your hands on her, I'll see you in these streets!" Traffic was backed all the way up Central Avenue, and I got back in my car and drove away.
My silence, it's a pretty loud voice for people. My silence is what makes them upset.
When I started Dreams of Hope a few years ago, I realized that I was not cis, that I was non-binary. And around that same time, the Pulse nightclub shooting had happened, and I went down to downtown for a vigil because I was connected to my community now. And because of that, I was able to meet people who I didn't know that were queer and from my community. And because of that, I was able to start a Gender and Sexuality Alliance Club at my local library.
I found my voice in a room that I was never supposed to be in. It came gushing out of me and hitting my target like a cold Sprite in the back of your throat. My voice. I had the hand gestures to illustrate the shade, receipts longer than CVS, and when I was done, I ascended into the air like Beyonce in Dubai. Without the homophobia, of course. Once I met it, I loved it. I shook its hand, took it with me everywhere. We might have gotten in trouble from time to time, of course, but that's worth the risk.
How am I supposed to find my voice? They yell at the wind, yet it still blows. All I do is live by the rules. One rule at a time. 2 ideas in my mind. 3 is the amount of goodbyes. To lose something is to have it in the first place. Then I never lost me. I never lost him, for he never existed. What am I supposed to do? Yell at the rain for falling? Look for rocks to get harder? Get a fish to climb a tree? I should just do what they want after all. To lose something is to have it in the first place. And I never forgot him, for he never existed. Am I just supposed to deny who I am? Yet, that requires voice, and voice requires strength, and strength requires pain, but I'm too fragile.
just as 1,000 before, touched by 1,000 jagged hands, seen by 1,000 gnawing eyes. All too much, all too soon. Don't be surprised when my skin is bumpy and your nails break trying to peel me open. Don't cry over my juice on the carpet from my delicate insides, for your kind palms have made my heart bleed again, have made my tears stream again, have made me sleep again, have made me feel again, have made mine love again.
September 13th, 2022. You know, I'd like to say that it's just one of those days, like I have been. Unfortunately, it's been one of those days for weeks now. It's hard to ignore. Things are going back to how they were when I had just gotten out of college. My mind is constantly foggy. I don't feel myself. I really don't know who myself is anymore. The thoughts have gotten worse, and I don't know how to stop them. I'm just hoping I'll make it out in time. September 16th, 2022. Getting out of bed has been increasingly harder. But I have to, because if I don't go to work, I won't have a bed or a place to sleep at all. The worst part is that I have no one to get up for, no friends to see after work, or a roommate to come back to. Then my family is a whole different story. I don't want to get into it, other than my job is exhausting. You wouldn't think that standing behind the counter and handing out cupcakes wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So look at it more like this. Imagine you have 100-pound weights on your legs and arms at all times. To go with that, talking is like getting your vocal cords ripped out and replaced over and over again. And now the worst type of customer you can imagine, showing up every day, in and out. Now, wouldn't you be complaining? September 20th, 2022. Work today was just as tedious as usual until this person came in. I've always been someone who can understand my feelings and experiences in detail, but this was different. Looking at them, I could hardly breathe. I think it was just the way he spoke with such confidence that made him so interesting. Wow. Suddenly leaning over the counter closer to my face, I've never seen anyone with such alluring eyes. Oh, I replied, everything pausing for what felt like a whole year, but was only seconds. Thank you. Abruptly, my thoughts came back, and I can function. As I hand them a box of cupcakes, he gives me the brightest smile I've ever seen on anyone, and with a wink, they seem to vanish.
I'm angry. I'm angry for being condemned to death by strangers. Strangers saying you deserve to die and AIDS is the cure. Fury erupts when a Republican woman wearing thousands of dollars of garments and jewelry minces by the police line, shaking her head, chuckling a hee and waggling her finger at us like we were some children just throwing a temper tantrum. Angry! I'm so mad! Joseph, great guy. He antagonizes over $8,000 a year for ADT, which might keep him alive a little longer, which does make him sicker than the disease that he had. Angry when I listen to a man tell me that after changing his will 5 times, he's running out of people to leave things to. All of his friends are dead. Angry when I stand in a sea of quilts. Panels or go to a candlelight march or attend yet another memorial service. I will not march silently with a fake candle, and I want to take that goddamn quilt and wrap myself in it furiously, renting in my hair and curse every goddamn religion ever created. I refuse to accept a creation that cuts down people in the 3rd decade of their life. It is cruel and violent and meaningless, and everything I have in me rails against the absurdity. And I raise my face to the clouds in a ragged laugh that sounds more demonic than joyous, erupts from my throat, and tears stream down my face. If this disease does not kill me, I may just die of frustration.
September 24th. I can't stop thinking of them. For once, there's something else in my head other than sleep. There's nothing I want more than to see them again, to be embraced by their smile would make my life worth it. October 4th, 2022. Today, I finally pushed myself to ask their name. It's Therese, they told me. Oh, wow, was all I could say. I think that's the most beautiful name I've ever heard. One you read in books and ask yourself where the author had found it. But on the downside, I'm a little concerned because every time they come in, they seem more tired than the last. Yet, Teresa's personality never fades. Teresa is always smiling, and I can't understand how. I mean, I've never seen anyone who is so genuinely happy at all times. It makes me wonder if it's genuine at all. October 6, 2022. There is no doubt in my mind that I want to know this person. Not just know them, but, you know, take them places. Learn their favorite color, what they dream to be one day. Take their picture and save it in my wallet. Hear Teresa's voice every day, knowing it sees me.
Spiders on both hands, okay? I was covered head to toe in bites. And there were just these huge pus bubbles. And I went to school, and the nurse could not even look at me. She sent me home as fast as possible, bro. But, you know, since I'm such a good person, I forgave them. But, you know, it's a little strange, because I have this fascination with them. Like, every time I see one that I've never seen before, I'll, like, look it up. Like, everybody knows, like, the Black Widow, like, the common house spider, and then there's, like, brown recluses, and there's even those, like, really big ones that live in Australia. Don't get me wrong. And, like, when I see them on my walls, like, I want to burn my house down. Like, and they're just, like, running, like, with the quickness. It's actually terrifying. But, you know, it's been a few days, and it's been just, like, wandering about my house, you know, like, hiding in the corners. It's been everywhere. It's in my kitchen, the living room. And, like, at some point, I was kind of like, it's kind of cute, you know? Like, I wanted to, like, get up close with it and, like, have that moment. But, you know, like, one day, I left for work, and I come back, and it's gone. I can't find it anywhere. And it's, like, for the first time ever, and, like, you will literally never hear me say this ever again, ever in your lifetime. Like, for the first time, I wanted a spider in my house. Like, I wanted one, which is actually insane. But, you know, it's been a few days, and kinda hope that it comes around, because this time I'll be able to say hello.
October 11th, 2022. We agreed on going out after Teresa's normal appearance today. Despite it being a simple park date, I could have been happier. They told me how they have a passion for writing. Teresa showed me some of their stories they wrote, and let me tell you, this stuff was good. I think Teresa is destined to be a children's author. When Teresa is talking about their stories and how they always wanted to teach elementary school, I couldn't help but notice how their eyes just lit up the whole world. After that, I wanted to walk them back home, but they were very hesitant to let me. This was the first time I've seen them doubt anything. After some convincing, I came to find why they seemed so nervous. Teresa's home isn't a home at all, but rather a hospital. October 28th, 2022. Teresa has the warmest heart and soul you could ever know. They came every week for cupcakes for everyone in their section. Of course, that is when we could leave. Teresa is now on bed rest, which what they don't tell you means that but I don't even think about it. I don't think anyone would in my situation. I don't want to let them go. They are the last person to deserve this fate. Teresa's life is worth so much. They deserve a future full of people who love and appreciate them, for their books to be published and appreciated.
Guess it's now or never. Dear Ruth, I hope that when you think of me, you think of what it looks like to choose yourself every time. When the love is wrong, choose you. When the song is wrong, pick another. Unless it's the blues. Don't be afraid of the blues. It's the ugly inside of us starting to feel beautiful. Beautiful again. Let it play, let it wrap your sadness up in its melody. And when it's time, and only when it's time, pick up the tempo. The lovely, Ruth, beautiful, and wise beyond her years, always smiling, as sweet as roses. That's how I remember you. Know that I'm with you, always. And if you need me, I'm going to be there with you. Take care of everyone, always. Your love to rest.
are starting to lose feeling. And my sight is starting to decrease. To whom it may concern, I am not sorry.
Voice lost, adrift, misplaced, misguided, but wanting, and muffled, and silenced, drowned, cast aside, disposed of, disregarded, lost, forgotten, no, gone, but not forgotten. This is for the lost voices, for the voices that we have never heard before, for the voices that still get stuck in our throats, for those silenced by our oppressors, for the speech that's never seen the light of day. We hear you. We see. This is for you.
Christian,
Ivy,
Janine,
Jude Bacon,
Tawny,
my best friend,
Emily,
Dion,
Linda,
Sylvester,
Dennis,
Cheryl,
Kara,
Cameron.
I wonder how long have each of you been a part of Dreams of Hope?
gonna say like beginning of the year-ish, so about 5 months.
Okay. Cool. I didn't realize that's when you joined the ad city.
There was like one of the open mic events I attended, and that's how I like found out about it. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Isn't that funny? And then we had you an open mic segment. That's funny. We can talk about a little bit about our process. So we started in late January. We jumped on Zoom, and we were on Zoom for a while. We were on Zoom for like 2 months because we were sort of figuring some things out.
Closer to 3.
Closer to 3?
Yeah.
My goodness. And so we met once a week for about 2 hours on Wednesdays, and we would just start out talking about what was on their mind. You know, it was important for me to not put we're a different generation. My generation's issues are not this generation's issues and what's on this generation's mind. So it was important for me not to put that into this piece. So we had a lot of discussions about what's going on in the world, what people want to focus on, what is important. And then talking about the process again, we started from the beginning of thinking about what we didn't want it to be and what we did want it to be. And then people started to go off and write on their own, and then write in groups, and then we would come back and share, and then we would sort of have adult discussions about them in the sense of, can this work in the show? What do we need to pare down? What do we need more of? We had some cast changes along the way. Brayden stepped in and picked up the banner and continued to move along the way. So, what's one thing that you learned during this devised work process over the last couple of months?
I can start.
Go ahead.
So y'all only been here for a week and a half. But, I mean, being here is nothing new to me. And it's been an honor to be able to jump in and be with my friends and take a break from my adult life. As adults, y'all can have that.
Real time.
But I got my chance to kind of jump in, and more of my process came with my body and my actions, and I had my friends to help coach me through it, and we were all able to walk through it together and stuff. So, at least for me personally.
I would say one thing that I've learned through this process is being able to learn how to co-write and write with write scenes together. That was my first time pairing with someone on a scene, and that was I felt like that was really cool to think about just an individual scene, which you would think only one person would write it, but to have that input, to have that, together input. So I think that was one thing that I learned how to do that I didn't really know about or know that I could do before.
I definitely learned deep improv portions and how to just be chill and natural and improv. It's not it's just have fun and being with these two on stage improv. It just was natural conversations, natural movements. I really thought that.
For me, I learned a lot of technical stuff because I didn't even know whenever we started what walking was. Because this is my first official acting thing. So yeah.
Cool. When you say walking, what do you mean by walking? Let's break it down for the children. What do you mean by walking?
Walking.
Block, I thought you said walking. What you doing tonight? What you mean? We're talking about walking.
But they did walk, if you recall.
Yes, we did walk. Blocking, yes. Way to go on the stage. When to move, how to move, and that the pieces are changing. They're not the same as they were the day before because they're getting edited and they're getting added to. How was that for you in this process?
So I mean, like, it was helpful just because of like, the cast that we're working with, like, y'all were amazing, just like telling me how you wanted each of the scenes that you were writing to come across with the music, and we had multiple conversations. That was just talking to each of you about what instruments you wanted, like, you wanted something like really like hard and like limited and some of them. We talked about there being a violin, which like I can only play so many instruments. But you know, like, it was hard. But I think that this was like in terms of like making music, probably the easiest that I managed to do that, just based off the inspiration I was getting from all of y'all. Like as said, the music for all the Bruise, from the Bruce thing was like very much being told from inspiration when they were telling me how they wanted this dissonant sound for this like show that it is. There's some up here and it's like hard and it's like going through the motions. So there's like trying to train that, which is like all from y'all. And then just, you know, the technical side of it, everything for this week was just perfecting that. So thank you for all the feedback and for all of the
Say it again.
inspiration. There we go. Yeah. Just like the inspiration is really all your communication and how can you make your vision for sure.
And thank you for being great. Because we don't always keep you up, friend.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of inspiration, I wonder, you know, what was sort of the most challenging part of this? I mean, you kept going, so you were inspired to keep going. But was there any challenging part? Because devised work, usually when people write, it comes from sometimes a personal place, or sometimes it comes from witnessing someone else's issues or struggles, and then sort of turning that into art. What was the most challenging aspect of that?
I would say, I guess, the challenging part would be, I would say the challenging part, oh snap, why is it so close? The challenging part, I would say, for me was, I guess, balancing, like, putting my heart and soul into something, and then life happening around it, and then being able to be present in the space. But yeah, pushing through, pretty much.
Okay. Acid.
I think the hardest part for me was like figuring out how to like take what I've written and what I had in my mind and like have it on an actual stage. Because obviously like it's very different than like if you were reading something, it's like you can imagine everything like the way you want it. But seeing it on a stage like live, you know, there's only so much that can be like done with the set and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say the most difficult part for me is because usually like when you write something and you're in the creation part of it, you're like, okay, I created this thing. Now let's get some actors and play it. But we had to play it, and I think it was really I like that. I like that we got to play it, that we got to each kind of like take on each other's different pieces
real life and from real experiences and from imagination as well. But do any of you have any questions for our ensemble?
I have.
Yes.
Would you like to
Mike? Okay.
And it's for the performers, actually for the whole group. What did you find cathartic and therapeutic through the process of creating this? Or did you find both?
Pass it back.
You say lethargic?
Cathartic.
Lethargic.
Soothe, heal.
Okay, cool. The brain was not braining in that moment. Well, since I'm already talking. For me personally, I would say just the act of getting in there and being confident in being able to get in there was painful. Man, y'all should have seen me yesterday. I was not prepared. I didn't think he was getting here. I mean, I knew he was getting here deep down inside, but mentally I was like, nah. But I think the soothing part is when like we really all start to just get into the rhythm. Like, and I think it happens every year with dreams of public performances, at least for me specifically. I always feel like terror before it happens, and then when it happens, I'm like, yeah, like this is smooth, this is nice, this ain't that bad.
I feel like just being able to to say things that I want to say without people having to know that it was me. Especially because certain people are here right now. I see you. It's kind of like it's like a secret, but like I get to have it out there. For probably for like the first time, and like I get to let other people know. Yeah.
I would say for me, what was like healing about the process was, I guess like also because we were on Zoom, and then now we're like, and we had rehearsals when we were together, but a lot of the time of the creation we were on Zoom, and so being able to like get into this space specifically and like do the blocking and get the lights, choose the lights and everything like that, all like in that moment, it felt very cool because it was like, wow, now it's like really coming to life while I'm on stage. It's nice.
Yeah, just I guess to piggyback off of what Acid said is it's cathartic to really let y'all in to what's going on up here with us because these pieces again they do move you. Like they moved us pretty well, like it had you thinking, especially when it comes to performing it. It's like I gotta take this from deep down within. I'm not just acting, but I'm bringing a part of myself out, which is healing.
Oh, I have one more thing. Yeah, because even within our creation of it, we were like kind of like Googling things about Alex Jones and gay frogs, and like we were like, are frogs actually gay? And it turns out that they are pansexual. They can't see gender. So it's a little tip. And I felt like that tip was healing to see that nature, it's part of nature.
Yes. Yes.
So my question's kind of woo-woo, but my question is, if you could talk to your past self, process-wise,
Oh, snaps, like musical chairs.
Take one, pass it down.
What would I tell myself? Get some sleep. Make sure you sleep.
I would say, try to memorize your lines and try to also, not everything has to be so serious, calm down and let things, happen naturally.
I'm sorry, I'm silly. I wasn't a part of the Zoom calls, but if I was, I would tell myself to breathe. I'd say, this is your time, this is your escape. You don't have to stress and you don't have to worry as much, so take this time as needed.
Yeah, it's my turn. So, I would probably just tell myself to calm the heck down, cause I was so stressed. I was like, oh my god, they're all gonna hate me and think I'm really weird, cause y'all are all adults, and I'm not. So, I was like, dang, bro.
I have a question for the audience. What was it like to hear that name? Did you expect it? Did you not expect it? What did that feel like?
Don't all talk at once.
My name was that's one of my really important elders and OGs. So hearing that name, I was like, oh, it was nice to do. And remember that I come from somewhere and that this person still with me in the spirit. So I'm picking up and so it's grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Cool. Any last questions for the group?
You know what I was going to share?
Come on, y'all.
Any feelings, thoughts, feedback?
We're taking questions, statements, donations, all of it if you want.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, in the creative process, did you guys feel like by the end, this is it, we're ready to go? Or did you feel like, I would say that, at least from my personal experience and the experience I've heard from other people, that the creative process never really ends. You can always be better, you can always add things. But sometimes some people feel they get to the end of the piece and it's done. Did you guys feel like it was done, it was ready, it was wonderful? Or did you feel like, I could have kept going on and on forever?
So, well, for me, it was I felt it was kind of surreal. Whenever we performed this morning, I felt like it wasn't a performance, and we were just running, we were just doing a run through. It didn't even feel like I was performing for people. And then after the show this morning, there was a period of time where we all just kind of chilled, and then we came back, and then we still worked on things after that, things that were noted during the performance. So I think that the creative process is never completely over. It might be over in terms of everything is written, everything is blocked, all the tech is done, but mentally, for me, it's never really done until all the shows are over, and I've had time to think about it.
I definitely think that there's more lore that I've been thinking about. Like when we were like running, I was like, ooh, if we add this, say this line, what if maybe it means this, and then we add another piece that goes here. We don't have time for that. But yeah, like as it said, it's never ending. And even after we're done performing, then it's like, oh, maybe this would have fit. You know, it's more like not turning into the what ifs, but like what could be.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like because there's so many different pieces and a lot of people's pieces from different, a lot of different pieces, if we wanted to pull something out of that and create something else out of that or anything like that, like to expand on that, or yeah, in the future it might happen that way where we might revisit one of these and pull out either a poem or a scene from there and just want to like expand on it. So I don't think it's never done.
Yeah, it's definitely never ending. I mean, even today, while I was performing on stage, I'm thinking about what I can do better tomorrow, or what I want to do tomorrow, or how I want to jazz up this part, because I didn't feel like it was too jazzy today. So it's definitely always a continuous process. And that's something that I've learned here today, but also just through my time with Dreams of Hope. There's always something more that you want to do, even if you don't have the time for it.
Time, our friend and our enemy. Well, thank you all truly for coming and supporting today. Thank you for sharing your artistry throughout this whole process. Thank you to all the other people who may see and may not see, to our interpreters, to our technical team, to the KST and Alloy staff, and to our videographers and to the audience. We appreciate you being here. Got one more show tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So let folks know that we're here. Oh, you know what I'm about to say. We're queer! And we're gonna get out of here. So, thank you all.
I've been trying not to